Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rockies Now podcast. We are a Colorado Rockies podcast. This is the this is the game recap for the series finale against the Seattle Mariners at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. And this is game 22 of the 2024 season. Now, I wish I was coming to you with much better news to talk about a Rockies series victory and perhaps a doubleheader sweep. But unfortunately, that is not the case as our Colorado Rockies lost this game by a score of 10-2. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this game. So Rocky starter Peter Lander came out and started off good with a clean no runs, no damage done in the top of the first inning. And the Rockies struck early. Elias Diaz hits double, scoring Ezekiel Tovar and Ryan McMahon to jump out to an early 2-0 lead. However, Peter Lambert ran into some struggles in the top of the second inning. He allowed two base runners on. Then he hit Luis Urias with a pitch that forced Jorge Polanco and Luke Raley to advance into scoring position. And then things turned up from there. Sebi Zavala, former Chicago White Sox catcher, with a single that scored runs. And then the big one was J.P. Crawford laced a triple to center field that scored Luke Raley, Luis Urias, and Sebi Zavala to bring up the score by 5-2. And then pretty much after that, the Seattle Mariners coast to a victory from that point on to the end of the game. The total scores after the Seattle Mariners, they end up with 13 hits. Our Rockies end up with only 6. Both teams allowed an error. But the big thing was Hancock. He was very good. He pitched 6 innings for the Mariners and only allowed 1 earned run and 4 strikeouts. Peter Lambert, like I mentioned for our Rockies, just wasn't a good day for him. It's just he only lasted 3 innings, giving up 6 earned runs. He had 5 strikeouts. Then Noah Davis came on to relieve him for 3 innings. He allowed 3 earned runs on 5 hits, 2 strikeouts. One of those hits he allowed was in fact a home run. Then our bullpen, they came in, kept things clean, of course. Jalen Beeks come in, throws 2 scoreless innings, giving up 2 hits. He allowed a run, but it was not earned. And then Tyler Kenley finished off with a scoreless inning. He did have 2 strikeouts in that inning. I don't want to come on here and say same old with our offense, but the unfortunate part is our offense and our pitching just has not been in sync at all times. Earlier today in game 1, our pitching was stellar. Our offense wasn't phenomenal, but it did what it needed to do. And that's what it's been like in pretty much all of the 5 victories that we've gotten this season. Tonight was no except. Wasn't that good. Our offense, as I mentioned, had only 6 hits. Elias Diaz, he collected 2 hits and drove in the only two RBIs for the game. Elias Montero also had 2 hits. Rogers had a hit, and Sean Burchard had a hit. That was a double. All in total, the Rockies, we only struck out 6 times, so that's good. We did force 2 walks. Both were by Ryan McMahon. But at the end of the day, of course, the Mariners pitching and their offense just was too much for us to handle in this second game. So it's just unfortunate. It's just another coming here talking about us of the series victory. The Rockies fall to 5-17 on the season. Ideally, there was always, I'm not saying I was very optimistic team that would be much better than this. It's been a rather rough start. And of course, baseball season is a marathon, not a sprint. So we're hoping maybe things can catch fire. So I did do some looking into it back at some older teams where some Rockies teams have had some tough starts. So let's talk about the 2005 team, for example. 22 games in, they had a record of 6-16. They, of course, prior to game 22, they did have back-to-back. They did have a small winning streak of 2 wins in a row on April 22nd and 23rd of 2005. So that's one difference. This Rockies team, and that, of course, led to them having a series victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers at Coors Field. This Rockies team has yet to win a series. That's going to come eventually. Just have no idea when that's going to be. And then we'll go back to last year. Oh, real quick, just to remind everybody what happened with the 2005 team. They ended up with a final season record of 67-95. Bill Schmidt, current Rockies GM, was actually the scouting director of that team. And of course, the general manager was Dan O'Dowd, and the great Clint Hurdle was the manager. And let's do a little also comparison, just looking back to last year. 22 games into the, let's make sure I get this correct here. 22 games in the season, our 2023 Colorado Rockies also had a record of 6-17. They of course, did have two winning streaks of two back-to-back two-game wins. Opening day and the second game of the season, March 30th and March 31st of 2023, we won back-to-back games. Herman Marquez, of course, was the winner of game one. He defeated Blake Snell that day in the for opening day last year in San Diego. And Kyle Freeland outdueled Martinez for, I can't remember his first name. It's escaping me, for a game two victory that year. And then later, and then of course the Rockies went on a long 4-game losing streak. And then did get another win against the Washington Nationals, lost the next two, and did have a series tie with them by winning on April 9th, 2023, and April 10th of 2023 for a back. We did have a win in our opening game of the series against the St. Louis Cardinals at home, which, remember, was Nolan Arenado. Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking too far ahead. Not Nolan Arenado's term. That was 2021. I'm sorry. I was thinking too far ahead. And then, of course, the Rockies last year between April 11th to April 19th went on a very long losing streak. So we haven't hit that wall yet, and hopefully we do not hit a wall that bad this season. Of course, it's just unfortunate that our Colorado Rockies in 2024 are still looking for their first series victory. Yeah, it's. Feel free to post comments. I know there's a couple people here watching this. Feel free to post your comments. What do you think? 2020, we're 22 games in, 5-17. We still do not have the worst record in baseball. That honor belongs to my other favorite team, the Chicago White Sox. And if you want me to do some comparisons, when you look at between the two, the White Sox offense, they are just atrocious. They have some players who you think could put up some offensive production. They just have not. This Rockies team actually has been able to put up some games with some decent numbers in terms of production, in terms of hits, drawing some walks, having some low strikeouts, and putting on more than 5 runs. Whereas I just saw the White Sox were just in Philadelphia. For the life of me, I can't remember what they put up in game one, but they today lost 8-2. And last night, I believe the score was 9-2 was the loss for the White Sox. So the difference between the two offenses is this Rockies team actually has some guys who can put up some offensive production. We've had 2 walk-off wins. The White Sox have not had a walk-off win. When I compared the pitching, the White Sox pitching is mostly a lot of young pitchers. We have some veterans who have shown they can get the job done. Again, the biggest problem I see with this Rockies team is that the offense and defense just can't find a way to get in sync and put together a solid victory where the both put up some solid production, whereas the pitching gives up, let's say, 2 runs or less, and the Rockies offense puts up 5 runs or more. I'm hoping for that more games like that come as the season goes on, the weather warms up in Denver. But again, I'm just trying to stay positive, trying to stay optimistic. As tough as that is, I'm not at the point where I'm screaming, I'm not going to be one of those guys on social media who screams sell the team. As much as I don't like where we're at right now, this team has got to find ways to sort itself out. And hopefully, it's going to be an interesting free agent class in this offseason. We're not going to get there that far yet. So things are hopefully going to get better. We just have to watch this full season play. Again, we're 22 games in. We got 140 more of these to go. And Steve and I are going to give you 140 more game recaps. So hopefully we're giving you some better ones as this season goes on. Okay, well, around Major League Baseball, there really was no other bigger news except for the biggest news, honestly, was the fan interference play that we had earlier in game 1 today. Looking at it again, looking at it, it didn't seem like fan interference, but I guess there was a camera angle that New York had that somebody found out where it looked like the fan actually did reach over the yellow top of the fence of the wall, and that's why it was ruled fan interference. Again, luckily it didn't come back to bite the Rockies. They ended up winning the game in a walk-off fashion. So it was just a moment that I guess we'll look back on this season when it's all said and done and say, hey, remember that? But at the end of the day, we won the game. That's all that matters, I would like to say. But it's unfortunate. Okay, around the National League West, the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. Not Arizona. Let's do that again. Read it again. The Arizona Diamondbacks took on the San Francisco Giants in their series finale. The Arizona Diamondbacks ended up winning by a score of 5-3. I'm trying to keep my short. Baseball, not football. Football's not here just yet. Anyway, yeah, but the Diamondbacks defeated the Giants by a score of 5-3. The Los Angeles Dodgers ended the New York Mets 6-game winning streak by shutting them out big time by a score of 10-0. And the San Diego Padres defeated the Toronto Blue Jays in their series finale by a score of 6-3. And looking again at the standings, like I said, here's some interesting here as I talked about yesterday. Earlier today, there were three teams in the National League East that had 6-game winning streaks of 5 games or more. Only one of those teams' winning streaks continued. The Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets, as I just mentioned, their 6-game winning streaks came to an end. The Philadelphia Phillies, of course, with the sweep of the Chicago White Sox, have extended their winning streak to 6 games. Other winning streaks are of note. The Milwaukee Brewers are currently on a 4-game winning streak, and the Cincinnati Reds, they are currently on a 3-game winning streak. Also, the Cleveland Guardians are on a 4-game winning streak. And here currently, as I mentioned earlier, with our win earlier in Game 1, the Rockies ended their 6-game winning streak. But currently, there is a streak that is going on in this game. The Pittsburgh Pirates are currently on a 6-game losing streak. So we'll see if that ends for them anytime soon. So go for that. Okay, so as I just mentioned, of course. All right, so next series coming up, the San Diego Padres are coming to town. They will be in Denver at Coors Field to square off against the Rockies on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 3-game set, and the pitchers for that series. Let me pull it up for you guys. Okay. Game 1 tomorrow on Monday, it'll be a night game. The Colorado Rockies, we have Austin Gomber going to the mound, and the San Diego Padres have former Chicago White Sox pitcher Dylan Cease going to the mound, who is having a very good season. He currently has a record of 2-1 with an ERA of 1.99. I can tell you, he was in Chicago for a number of years. He grew up in our system. We traded him. We acquired him from the Cubs. He grew up a little in our system, made his debut with the White Sox, pitched with us from 2019 to last year, 2023. And let me tell you, he's got great stuff. So if you want to watch a guy who's not pitching for the Rockies, who has great stuff, check out Dylan Cease. So be sure, if you're not going to the game, tune in just to watch to get maybe a look at some great pitching. Check out that start. Game 2 on Tuesday. That will be for our Colorado Rockies. We will be sending Ryan Feltner to the mound, and the San Diego Padres will be sending Michael King, who was acquired from the New York Yankees in the Juan Soto trade. And on Wednesday, the Rockies have yet to announce a starter. It is still TBD, and the San Diego Padres will be sending Matt Waldron. So those are your next 3 games and your probable starters. Again, like I said, Wednesday starter for the Rockies not been announced, but hopefully as we get closer, we'll find out. Could be a bullpen game. Who knows? Okay, and for the recap episodes, Steven will be on the call with those. So be sure to check out and tune in. Make sure, again, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube page, be sure to click subscribe and turn on your notifications so you get updates when our recap episodes do start. Of course, we do have there is a scheduled time if you check them out before the episode begins recording. We do start early, but again, if you have your notifications turned on, you will get the notification, hey, episode has started, and you can tune in and join us, whether it is on Twitter X or YouTube. Twitter X. I wish it was just one or the other, but Twitter is still stuck in my head, even though it's X. Still got to go with it either way. Okay, so anyway, that'll do it for this episode of the Rockies recap. A recap of the series against the Seattle Mariners in Denver, Colorado, which unfortunately was a series loss. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that first series victory for the Rockies is coming soon. We just all gotta stay positive and optimistic, and hopefully it is right around the corner. So anyway, thank you for tuning in tonight. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We appreciate all of you greatly. All of our fans, followers, and everybody who tunes in live, watches our episodes when they're posted on YouTube, Twitter, X. We appreciate you greatly. You guys are awesome. Rockies fans, we love you so much. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Tell all your friends, both Rockies fans and other fan bases about us. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Tell your classmates. Tell everybody about us. All your family members. We love our fans and our followers so much. So thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media pages: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and our Threads page. And like I said, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be recording a new full-length episode sometime soon. We're not sure exactly when. It probably could be one of the next off day, but we'll let you know for sure when, the date, and the time if you'd like to tune in live. And again, if you can't make it live, be sure to follow us on YouTube and Twitter X because we post our episodes there. So that'll do it. Thank you for tuning in. Hope all of you had a great weekend. Have a great rest of your night. And as always, go Rockies.